You'll never understand me.
Guys, what's up? This is Josh. I'm just checking in really quick. Some pretty interesting things have been going on. So I thought we were done with this whole haunted object thing, right? And apparently I was mistaken, because we have another thing right over here, which again I found on the back steps, just right out the back door here. But guys, say hello to Object A2. I have no idea what this is, obviously. The box is taped up pretty good. So it took me a little bit. Obviously, I got here and then found this right off the bat. I just want to make sure everything's out of there. What in the world? So again, it looks like it's a purchase from eBay, which I would suggest that the others were as well. But this says, Object A2. I'm not going to warn you that there is a lot of verbiage with this one. The ad was very long. I couldn't resist the temptation of this object. I put it in the A category because there is no actual claim of activity. The only thing that was stated is about a medium noted in the ad. Okay, so from what I gathered, no activity is claimed, but I believe this ad was made to lure you in because the possibility of activity exists based off of its history. I did ask the seller specifically to double check. I would also like to note that the seller stated it was probably from the 1930s to the 1950s, potentially older. A quick Google search revealed this was made in or around 1984 by one Larry Laszlo. I did not have a picture of the bottom of the goblet, so I didn't search the designer prior to purchase. Ooh. Here we go. I'm gonna open this up then, so we can take a peek at it. I need a knife. Let me grab this. So here we go. I'm gonna grab this and start slicing and dicing, and try not to cut myself in the process. Those of you that know me also know that I'm not exactly. I'm fairly accident prone. That is no lie. Like if I don't fall down at least probably 3 to 4 times a week, then it's just not a full week. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get this beast opened here. So we have a lot of. What the fuck? Okay, so from there it's just this newspaper wrapping. Okay, newspaper wrapping is off, and now we have, looks like tissue paper type stuff. Is that what you call this stuff? I don't know. It's like tissue paper. What the frick? Well, it's definitely cold from being outside. I don't know if you guys can get a good shot of this or a good picture of this. This is kind of. This thing's pretty cool. Cheers. All right. So let's read on here. So I didn't search the designer prior to purchase. It does fit with the 25-year timeline noted in the correspondence. I would like to note that I have had this object in my house for a few weeks. Nothing odd or paranormal has happened here at all. That makes me feel better. This object is still old, still has a good story, and still could be interesting, so off we go. I have highlighted the parts that stood out to me in bold letters to save you some time. Okay, so here we go. Item description. I love this piece. Though its questionable negative aspects bother me. It's been 7 years since Hurricane Sandy devastated the area of the Jersey Shore, and wiped out restaurants, businesses, the original building where a private museum once stood, called by the owner of the Museum of Haunted Things. It also held quirky, curious, politically incorrect items and historical artifacts connected to weird bits of history. Ever hear of Hitler's toilet? Following the storm, the owner made an effort to salvage what he could of his collection. Interesting. This unique piece has been in storage since the remnants were collected and then stored. It has obviously seen better days, but its current condition only adds to its dark charm. Standing to a full 10.5 inches tall, it still bears evidence of the numbered tag that cataloged it in the collection. The original artifacts and curios that could be retrieved have been in a separate building in the owner's property near Keyport. Unfortunately, all of the certificates of authenticities, photos, tapes, physical files, and documents, along with a computer, were all lost. The owner hoped to resurrect his establishment at another location in the future, but ill health and depression over the loss, as well as financial concerns, delayed this. He has since abandoned hopes of recovering from the loss, and is now faced with serious health issues. Has left hundreds of collected haunted, occult, and weird items to be either lost or rehomed, the latter of which we hope to do, thanks to Mr. B's intervention. The goblet has an amazing energy to it, which some perceive as negative and malignant. And others find strangely inspirational and positive. In our case, we admit to a changeable vibe, blowing hot and cold basically, neither wholly negative and completely positive. So what little has been deduced or remembered of its origin deals with the rituals of necromancy, contact with the dead, and its obvious use is a portal for spirit communication. One sensitive claims that there is an entity attached to it whose presence he finds disturbing. We urge you to caution when considering purchase and cannot be held responsible for anything of paranormal nature which might be experienced once it leaves our hands. So here's some correspondence then. So that was kind of a brief description, and then it gets into correspondence in between the person that obviously dropped this off at our on our back stoop here and the person selling this. So it says, me. I was wondering how old this piece is. I was also wondering if you have any accounts of the activity that surrounds this piece. If you do, could you share them? If there is no activity associated with this item, that is okay too. I just need a detailed backstory. The reason I ask is because this is going to be the source of a paranormal investigation and documentation. Truth. This piece seems to fit a category of objects that I have been searching for. The seller. Hello. Thanks so much for your interest in this piece. Unfortunately, we have no other information other than what was in the listing. Most of the previous owner's records were wiped out by Hurricane Sandy several years ago. Right now, best guesstimation of age is 1930s to 1950s, but could be older. Not much help, I'm afraid. Sorry. Best I can give at the moment. Hope it was of use. Is it fact that this goblet was used in rituals pertaining to necromancy, or is it a best guess? The seller then comes back and says, that much at least is known or remembered by the previous owner. that it was used for rituals regarding necromancy. He had originally purchased it with that understanding and claimed it had been verified. His sources, unfortunately, are unknown to us. It was added to his collection likely 25 years ago or more. All we have at this point is hearsay. Really wish I could do better for you, but as I remind everyone, we can't fib about stuff to make a sale, and one's own intuition is the best guide. Thanks again for your interest. Good luck with your search. Okay, so that's the packet that we have, guys. And now we also then have a handwritten letter. God dang, I can't speak. By this Kate. And this is apparently who sold said item. It says, thank you for accepting the offer on this weird but interesting goblet. I wish I had more information for you, but it's had a rather something chain of ownership, and one source for better history, personal records, previous owner. I'm having issues reading her handwriting. Wishing you luck with it. I didn't make much of an attempt to remove the museum label and only gave it a quick once over with a damp cloth. Look for positive feedback. We hope that if you are pleased with this, you will do the same for us. So yeah, okay. We offer a limited, yeah, okay, whatever. Interesting. Interesting. So guys, Larry Laszlo, the creator of this, and yeah, so this little tag that it does have on it right here, this right here, guys, is from that museum that this was, that this thing called home for numerous years. Interesting. I'm going to take the knife and... This is really cool. What's interesting about it is I'm not getting any creepy or odd like feelings or vibes or anything like that. Maybe because it's not a goddamn doll, but whatever. This is pretty freaking sweet. Now I would suggest then that this being object A2 would then... This would then round up our thing. So we should be done now with objects. And now we can actually get to the testing. Tell you the God honest truth, it's almost a fortunate thing that I was sick last week. Otherwise, I probably would have already began. I would have started the testing, and then this would have arrived kind of late to the party and may have screwed up kind of what I wanted to do. So here's object A2, and I'm just going to set it down right over here. Guys, I can't wait to like get started with this, which look for those videos starting next week. Next week, it's going to get crazy. So we're going to be doing an entire series and battery of tests with each object individually, the objects then together. We're going to see what happens when we put these objects in specific locations within this building. Hell, we might even try this at other locations as well and kind of bring them along for the ride. I'm really interested to see what happens when we start to implement these objects. This could be freaking huge. This could be a lot of fun. Now, speaking of fun, on an entirely separate note, tomorrow night, guys, tomorrow night, I'm thinking 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, I will be going live from Malvern Manor to do the investigation that I feel like I was robbed of last week. So, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, investigation, solo investigation of Malvern Manor. And I'm stoked, guys. I can't wait to actually to do this. So if you notice, like over here, I've got this is 250 feet of Cat 5 cable ready to do this. So we can stream live. We will also be able to like take comments and all that fun stuff from you, and kind of guide me through this investigation. But guys, this is outstanding. So live investigation coming up tomorrow. A brand new haunted object to play with here. This is going to be interesting. That is for sure. So guys, say hello to Object A2, and we're definitely going to start implementing this very interesting piece into our little experimentation. So very excited. Other than that, guys, I hope you're doing great. I hope everybody's doing well. Gosh, we got like Thanksgiving coming up, which is just like, how is that even possible? Because yesterday it seemed like it was June, whatever. Just kind of roll with it. But guys, yeah, I hope you're doing great. Thank you for the love, the support, the everything. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.